the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable moments in life. I'm one of your hosts. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
And I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
And I told myself, I'm going to try to be less annoying in the intro so I don't turn people off immediately. And it didn't happen this week, but stay tuned.
Goodbye, listeners.
Goodbye. I swear, this is a very fun and funny podcast. Stick around. I think I'm less annoying in the rest of the episode. Maybe I'm wrong. But today...
Let us know.
Let us know if you... Please don't let me know if you think I'm annoying.
Leave a voicemail if you think Evan's annoying. More in the intro, or more in the body of the podcast, or stays the same. And you don't have to say if that's annoying or not annoying. Just say it's consistent.
Yes, and I can't not be annoying in the intros. Something that is also consistent. Number twos. I don't know. And this episode is a number two.
Sure, a number boo.
A number boo. We did a ghost episode. It's haunted us ever since.
Yeah,
that was like first year of the podcast
easily, Evan, because that was episode 14.
Episode 10? Okay, 14. Crazy. But we're back, and we have a reason to be back. But before we get really going, I've got a question for Chris.
Yes.
I'm going to ask Chris how he's doing. And now to you, Chris.
Yes.
I would like to ask, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Great.
The last 2 weeks you've talked about the grocery store you go to, Stater Brothers.
Absolutely true.
I'm here to talk
deny it.
this week about the grocery store I go to, Ralph's. And I was at Ralph's the other day. I'm pushing my little shopping cart. I'm making my way up the aisle. There's somebody else coming the opposite way. And I hear a loud noise from my cart. And then a mix between a loud fart and metal on metal, like kind of scraping and echoing.
Yeah.
And so I look down, look all the way down. There's a little like metal square that must cover some panel or outlet or access valve or something. Who knows?
Unforgivable.
So I look down. That's what it is. Okay, keep walking. Nothing's wrong with my cart. That person who was walking the opposite direction then, to me, does a very exaggerated nod as if to greet me, as if I had been nodding to him and not looking down at the metal that made the noise. Which one of us should feel worse about that? Because he definitely put it on me, but he's the one that did something weird.
Yes, they're definitely the one that is the weirdo in this situation. But, yeah, getting a nod back does put the onus on you to be like, oh, well, that would have been a nice thing to do. So I would have just gave him another nod. And if he kept that going until the end of time,
it's a nod off. Yeah, we have to keep going back and forth. Yeah, it was almost like more than a nod and like a borderline, like bow. I bow my head to you. Yeah.
Wow.
But in a way that made it very clear, like what I thought you were doing looked dumb. So it's pretty upsetting.
Oh well, what can you do? Explain yourself. So there's a little metal square. I thought it made a noise.
Yeah, like how did you not hear the noise? Whatever. Evan, I gotta know how you doing.
Pretty good. Big update today.
Okay.
I'm taking a nap. So there's
Okay.
that.
Yes. I think our listeners have been waiting. Like, will he take a nap? We need the updates.
He could use one. He looks like he could use a nap. I'm taking a nap. I get up from that nap. I'm looking at my phone. I've found through 2 different experiences from our bedroom, someone knocking on our door that sound does not make it to the bedroom.
Nice.
Which is, yeah, fantastic. I don't think we have a doorbell. But fine in terms of solicitors coming by. Anyways, I hear voices. And because this happened when they cut down the tree and wanted to ask me about keeping the wood, I recognized the direction of the voices. I'm like, oh, those are people at the door. I poked my head out the window, and 3 very young people. I called them kids because I'm elderly. Jocelyn's like, these are adults. I'm like, yeah, but they're like 20. I can call them kids now. Anyways, so they are walking down the hill. I'm like, oh, bullet dodged. Didn't have to deal with 3 people with clipboards. They came back. The worst kind of soliciting. They came back like 20 minutes later. Yes, I'm still in bed looking at my phone. And Jocelyn's like, I'm gonna go check it out. See what they want. I'm like, you're nuts. Like, there's no way they could want anything good.
This is a horror movie. You're not supposed to split up.
Yes. So she's out there talking to them for a while. I'm like, oh my God, what did we just get signed up for? After about a half hour or so, in my mind at least, she comes back. And I'm like, what did you do? And she's like, can you come out there? I'm like, okay, why? It's like, because they're from Frontier.
The airline?
No.
Okay.
Better. The internet service.
Oh.
Frontier is coming to our neighborhood.
Okay.
They want to help us kick Spectrum to the curb.
I like that.
I like it too. But then she also tells me, I told them you were in the bath. And hands me a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not wearing a bathrobe. So I just took my time.
Yeah, no,
came out.
I only want a towel. And you made sure to like splash water all over.
And I'm like,
hey guys, I was just in the bath.
I'm like, that's fine, whatever. Like, it's believable that I could have got out of the bath. I'm wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. Like, that's believable. That was what I was spending my time doing. But I come out
and they're
here,
like, sir, we came here 20 minutes ago, and then we've been out here for 30 minutes. What is this 50-minute bath you're taking?
I love a 50-minute bath.
I'd love to see your fingertips, sir, to see if you've been pruning.
They get pruning, but sometimes I got a book or my phone. Anyways, I believe, like, hey, I've crushed this. I don't need to wear a bathrobe. But as soon as I get there, there's a pesky girl in the front. Again, they're like 19, 20 years old, fresh out of high school. And she's like, oh, he got out of the bath. Okay.
I like it. I like this girl. She's calling you out on your bullshit.
She was calling me out on my bullshit. But then she
knew you were hiding and didn't want to speak to them. Probably saw you poke your head out of the window and pull it back in.
Absolutely. 100%. But then she's like, that took a while. Maybe they got in the bath together.
No, now I'm not on board. She lost me.
I'm not going to go too deep into detail, but I'll say her
What
in
is
particular.
this? A comedy show where every stand-up comedian has to make fun of the people in the audience?
She was so mean. The other two with her were super nice, and she was very mean to them and arguably mean to us. But they were from Frontier, and they were offering us a better life.
Yeah.
So I listened to their spiel, and I went along with it. And, as you can imagine, part of their whole spiel is like, you hate Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, absolutely. And they're like, yeah, it's awful. I'm like, oh yeah, and we hate how they sell you on other stuff. They keep sending us the streaming box, et cetera, et cetera. Oh yeah, it's terrible, terrible, terrible. And then, like within 10 minutes, they're also trying to upsell us on other shit.
Yeah.
Like, right. It's not just Spectrum. I hated Comcast Xfinity when I had them. I hated every internet company I've ever had. They're, I'm sure, also going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
But I can still get the pleasure of kicking Spectrum to the curb. I forget where I was going with that, but long story short, we signed up. They'll be here. What makes me nervous though is our address doesn't like pop up in there, and so they put in a different address that does pop up.
Huh.
And they're like, don't worry, this is what this says, and the person installing it will be here. Like, I kind of feel like they're not going to be here.
Yeah.
They're going to be at that other address you listed. So we'll see. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know if it was a regret. But as of right now, we're saying goodbye to Spectrum.
That's
And
good
I'm very
news.
happy about it.
Yeah.
Just an update I wanted to give.
Why did it take 3 of them to do that?
It felt like 2 employees in training and one know-it-all
Okay,
who had
interesting.
already been trained. Yeah, she was very, very mean. Yeah, that's about all that is. I'm looking forward to seeing the ghost of Spectrum in my rearview mirror,
Yeah.
haunting
The
us.
specter of Spectrum.
Ooh, that's better. I wish I'd thought of that. Yeah, but no, I'm sure that'll also be a terrible experience.
Terrible.
Fearable. I gotta stop talking and start talking about ghosts.
Yeah, so this is an episode that we've covered before.
Yes.
And there is a reason that we will be covering it again today. And I know that you said that you should stop talking, but you might have to start again,
Yeah,
because
I figured.
it is the reason that we're doing this episode again. And we'll segue very nicely into there's a little tease, but it will segue very nicely into a listener question for us as well.
Ooh, lovely.
But Evan, why are we talking about ghosts again 5 years or so after we talked about them the first time?
Because ghosts are always around. They never let you forget them. They like to haunt. They like to spook you. But primarily because Jocelyn and I just stayed at a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
The Glen Tavern Inn. It was featured on Ghost Adventures.
What did Zach Baggins experience when he went to this hotel?
I'm glad that you have experience with Ghost Adventures because it's one of the most insane shows I've ever seen. And there was a point where he's sitting there. They're like, they've got that machine that gives you a word Just one word to get
Yes.
started.
Yeah, all improv ghosts.
Oh, that would be a good improv show. You get one of those and let the ghosts give you
Oh, that would
a
be
word to
good.
get
I do.
started.
I do actually really like that.
I really like that. Then I feel like we would slowly end up in a what was that? How did I already forget the name of that movie? Horror movie, Dalsmatian.
Oh, Late Night with the Devil.
Late night with the devil situation. We'd summon something we didn't mean to, and I'm not just talking about bad improv. We'd summon the ghosts of know-it-all improv teachers from the 70s. Anyways, but he's
Let me
using that
stop
thing.
you right there. And you see where the scene went wrong.
It seemed like you were wanting to say something offensive, but were scared. Lean into it. Anyways, he's sitting there with one of those machines, and he's like talking to a ghost, obviously, and he's like, "What's your name?" And there's no response. And he asks again, "What is your name?" Nothing. And he yells at the top of his lungs, "If you don't tell me your name, then I don't believe in you." Like, this was peak reality TV.
So, I mean, we gotta know.
Yeah.
Did the ghost then tell Zach Baggins its name?
I don't think so. I don't remember somehow because we were laughing so hard. It was a very sexual ghost, though.
Oh.
It did. There was a guy staying overnight there, and it was like, blow gently.
Wow.
And then said the word
Dan
thigh.
Aykroyd style?
Yeah, that's the idea. So this place is called the Glen
Bustin' makes
Tavern.
him feel good?
Yeah. I never thought about that. That's obscene. Should be ashamed of yourselves. Santa Paula, that's where it is. So the whole, the reason let's just start with us. It's Jocelyn's friend was having a going away thing in Ventura, and it was just like one of those, like, it was a little last minute that we were able to confirm, like, yes, we can do that. I was going to have that Friday off anyways. Let's stay in a hotel. And when you last minute do stuff like that, sometimes those hotels are very, very, very expensive. So we're looking at anything under $200 a night. Just like, we just need a place to stay. And we had two options. And one was a Motel 6 that every review was like, this place is infested. This is cockroaches everywhere, bed bugs, disgusting, and you see pictures of stains and bugs and shit like that. And then the other place, which is infested with ghosts.
I mean,
where do you lean?
You know, it's curiosity is like, let me check out the ghost hotel.
What are these bugs gonna do?
Right.
I'm so curious. I saw Bug's Life.
Yeah. Of course, led by Dave Foley.
As we discussed before recording. Two Bug's Life references within the hour. I was, hard leaning towards the haunted hotel because fuck cockroaches. That's terrible. I don't not believe in ghosts, but I also don't believe in ghosts. I want to believe.
The truth is out there.
It intrigues me. I don't think a ghost could, like, kill me. Maybe I'm wrong. But I do think a ghost could haunt a room if it existed. And that could be scary, but I'm down to experience it. So we do that. We look into it. The whole story's like, it's all shit from, like, the Old West. So there were two murders that happened in two different rooms. One, a beheaded prostitute, and one, a cheating gambler who got caught with cards up his sleeves, and they shot him in the head. Of course, Ghost Adventures recreated this accurately.
Yeah, of course.
Surprisingly, showed a beheaded prostitute. I wasn't expecting that, but they
Oh,
went all in. It's gory as hell. From everything we could tell, it's like the hotel leans into this hard. So they use it as marketing. It's on their website.
mm-hmm.
They embrace it. Probably, I mean, it seemed like even before the Ghost Adventures episode, which at this point was 2012, I think it was, because that's when they reopened. It was closed for a long time for spooky reasons. Someone reopened it and was like, let's lean into it. We've got signs everywhere that says the Last Chance Hotel. There's creepy little dolls that they just place on chairs in the hallways, and
Naturally.
just a bunch of movie posters along the bottom, because it's also an old Hollywood hotel. I guess they used to shoot in Ventura and Santa Paula a lot, and so it's like, yeah, Charlie Chaplin stayed there, and Marilyn Monroe, etc., etc. So it's half old Hollywood, half ghosties. Um, so I mean, let's just start here. How willing are you to stay in a hotel like that? If they're leaning into the marketing, are you cynical enough to believe that, like, they made this story up and they're making money? Or where are you at? I was gonna
Um.
say spectrum wise on the
Ooh.
spectrum of
You
disbeliever
can't get
to
rid of that internet. It's tied to you forever. You know, I'm on the fence. I think my thought is like, um it's based on a kernel of truth where like
right.
early on people were like, "Oh, it's haunted," and then they started to lean into it to
Yeah.
like really drum it up. I think we talked about this, in episode 14 all those years ago,
Hmm.
but I definitely think that when you either like claim that a hotel is haunted, or if you're on like a ghost tour, a
Yeah.
ghost adventure of sorts,
Hey.
there's always going to be people who are like, well, obviously I saw something, I felt something,
Yes.
I'm a part of this. Um and I don't feel like that would happen to me. I feel like I would be there and not have anything happen. I know that there's
Yeah.
some hotels, there's like the Clown Hotel. I can't remember where it is, but where like their whole thing is like, we're just the creepiest fucking place you've ever been in. And I would not
Cool.
enjoy yeah, I
Yeah, that
would
sounds terrible.
not I'll see if I can pull up a photo for anybody watching along on
Like
YouTube here.
borderline like haunted house vibes. Like there's scary
Yeah.
stuff around and they'll try to scare you. Fuck that.
Yeah. It's like they have a bunch of like clown merchandise there. Um and like it's supposed to be just a creepy place. Like here's I believe this is the lobby. This is in Nevada. Um
The circus?
no, because it's outside of Vegas. It's in like
Ooh.
Tonopah, I think.
I mean,
If that's how you pronounce it.
I know I've said this before, or mentioned it before, and I know this is supposed to be creepy, but this does just look like my grandma's clown room that I used to sleep in when I was a kid.
Yeah, that might say more about you and your family than it does about. I don't
The
know. A lot of people see
clowns.
this and they're like, "Oh yes, just like Grandma's house."
Somehow, friend and former guest Derek Lee Hood also grew up with a family. I believe it was his grandma in a clown room. So we're out there.
Okay, all right. Um, but anyway, like I think something like that, and like you're saying with like the dolls set up
Hmm.
on chairs and stuff.
I could pop those pictures in here. They're on my phone, so you can't see them. But
I
Maybe
wouldn't,
I could email them to myself.
it's like a tough situation where I wouldn't necessarily believe that like the dolls are possessed or whatever,
Right.
but I wouldn't like it. Like
That's
that's not
part of
really.
it.
I wouldn't enjoy seeing that.
Like, there is, and again, I'd say a healthy skeptic, but there's no part of me that's like, I bet those dolls are haunted. I
Right.
bet ghosts put them there. Like, that is very clearly just something that they've put there to be creepy and make people happy that they've seen creepy things, Um, I don't know. So yeah, it is just kind of that middle world of like 80% of this is clearly intentional bullshit
Yeah.
that to me doesn't mean, like, I've seen that movie where it's like, oh, they lean into this haunted aspect and then find out, oh no, they think we're mocking them, and things go south, brother. It's the kind of stuff that I say when I'm trying to pull up an email.
What movie is this that you're, or is
Partial.
it just in your head?
That did make me think. What is that one? People like we've watched every fucking sequel to it. Hell House LLC. It's like they
Oh, okay. Got it.
put up a haunted house. Meanwhile, more haunted than they expected. Ooh. So here's the hallway
Okay.
of this place. You see the movie posters on the side.
Those movie posters, not at eye level. Pretty
No,
low.
they're very low to the ground. It's a strange choice. I don't know why. Can you see my mouse moving?
I can, yes.
Okay. So that's 303, 304, 305. So we're staying in this room.
Okay. At the end of the hall.
This room across the hall is the haunted room that everyone says they see shit in, experience bad stuff, etc., etc. They
So,
put us right the
okay.
fuck next to it.
Do you
But
have to
also, here's a
request
creepy
the?
doll for you.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like that.
We don't like that at all.
Because it's also like, so that's in the room.
No,
Yes.
no.
Oh,
That
okay.
that would
Okay.
be an extra level
Okay.
of
I
like,
thought.
just put the
All right.
dolls outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. All right. If it's just like to create atmosphere, whatever. But if
That
it
is
had been in
like
the room, then that I would not be on board.
that is like right behind where I was taking the picture from
Okay.
of the hallway. So it's just
I
right in the
gotcha.
hallway coming up the stairs.
Do you have to
Anyways,
request the haunted room, or like do they just randomly put people in there?
so this is what I do not know.
Okay.
Um, all I can say is that one day we were coming out. We had the dogs with us. Dog friendly hotel, by the way, but not dog friendly because, like some of them we go to, it's like, oh, they're hardwood floors and you're close to going outside. It's dog friendly because the carpets are fucked, just positively disgusting and covered in stains. But we were taking the dogs out, and an older couple came out of that room, and that room is 307. I forget which one. It's like 307 and 308 that they say the murders happened in.
Okay.
307's experienced a lot of hauntings. I don't know about 308. But this kind old couple comes out of 307, and they're just like talking to us and going like, oh, your dogs are so cute. And I'm like, you just don't know with the elderly. Also,
They're the ghosts.
could they be the ghosts? Maybe. I don't fucking know. No one's stayed in that room for hundreds of years. You can't put it past older people from being just actually interested in the paranormal and wanting to stay in a room like that. It didn't have that vibe, though, which made me think they will just put people in that room. I
Yeah.
don't know. From everything we could tell, 308 is massive. It's like the 2 lower floors, it's a hallway with like 3 or 4 rooms, and then on the top floor it's just one room that takes up that whole space. So this must be a giant room. And when we were checking out, I saw a guy coming out with a bunch of camera equipment and saying he was ghost hunting there, and they didn't see
Yeah,
anything.
of course.
So I'm like, wow.
Do you think that ghosts see people ghost hunting and they're like, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yeah,
My hang back.
that's what Jocelyn was saying about the ghost adventures. Like, can you imagine being dead and like these are the guys coming in their
Zach
affliction shirts,
Baggins shows up.
coming to chat with you?
Say your name or I don't believe in you.
Fuck off.
Let me rest. This kind of segues because I'm assuming you did not experience anything having not been in the haunted room.
You'll see.
Okay.
I may have. I've got a story, but segue away.
Well, I was going to segue into our listener question here, which is from
this out.
from Jordan Parker,
Hey.
who asks, if you were a ghost, where/what/who would you haunt?
Where/what/who? You know, it's top of mind right now because we've been watching it. But the Top Chef kitchen could use a ghost. And I'd have a good time just floating around there fucking up people's recipes. Or, and I've always got strong opinions on the people because some, believe it or not, some chefs are douchebags. And I would
I do believe it.
Sabotage their dishes. And then the nice people who are like good, but not at that next level, help them out a bit. Because at this point, I died a professional chef.
Okay.
That's my immediate. If you want an immediate answer,
yeah,
that's it. I'm haunting the Top Chef contestants, the chef testants, if you will.
I will. What first came to mind for me, was I would like to haunt those insufferable like couples content like channels or Instagrams or TikTok couples. I'd love to haunt them because I can't imagine constantly exploiting your relationship for views. But I don't know enough about ghost rules, and maybe we should have Zach Baggins on the podcast to tell us.
Reach out.
I don't understand. If I were a ghost, I'd be traveling, baby. I'm not going to stay in one place.
General ghost rules are you are stuck to one place, and that place is where you died.
Yeah.
So I'm probably not going to die in the Top Chef kitchen.
Well, unless you really want to.
See how many years I got left. I can, go to culinary school. Let's go.
I guess that is kind of what I've heard in general as well. Because it's also like, you hear if I were a ghost, right? Yeah. And I gotta be stuck in one place, I want to be in some like really nice mansion.
Yeah.
But most mansions, aside from the one in Disneyland, of course, they're typically not haunted. I feel like it's more often like everyday homes in America instead of like the nicest house in the country, which is where I'd want to go.
It does. Now that you say that, it does feel like our ghosts. I think ghosts do persist in all like cultures in some capacity, but it does, the idea of just like a ghost dying in a spot and haunting a house, a haunted house vibe, feels very American and English to me. Like, and maybe that's just because I speak English and that's most of the media that I see. I mean, yeah, a lot of Korean ghost stories also. Japanese and Korean. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'd say those four in particular, real into ghosties.
I think another option for a place I'd like to haunt, the White House.
Could be good.
Yeah.
Or it's already haunted by every former president.
Yeah, that's
Would
true.
that be
Yeah.
good?
It'd
Would you
be
finally remember their names?
Yeah, I don't
Franklin,
know.
like,
Franklin Pierce, I don't know.
so. I notice I didn't remember his last name. I called him Franklin, like the turtle.
Franklin, like the turtle.
Yeah, because I'm an
That'd be
adult.
the way to remember it, I think.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I would be, I do know that when my dad was sick,
Mhm.
my mom told him, like, you better not come back and haunt me.
It's a good
Um,
thing to let know.
so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so like, hey, just so you, while you're dealing with this, let me let you know. take haunting off your plate. You don't have to do it. But I do like the idea of sticking around to
Yeah.
follow a loved one after
Hmm.
you've passed, and then just kind of like torment the people that make their lives difficult. That's, I
Yeah.
think, because that bridges the gap between the two things that I would want for myself in a ghostly life, which is, um, you know, a Robin Hood sense of like, I only torture the bad people, and
Yeah.
also like,
Justice.
I'm kind of a friendly ghost. Like that's right in the middle there of like, I'm still doing a bit of both. And that's, I think, what
That's
I'd
pretty
like
good.
for a ghost, Chris.
You did just make me think, though, would this be the most fun thing you could do as a ghost? Because theoretically, people can't see you, except for like brief moments if something happens. Can I can I choose my outfit as a ghost?
Mm.
Because I want to just dress up like Batman. Then hang
Oh,
out around
interesting.
criminals, and then
Uh
like the lights will flicker and they'll see Batman and go, the Bat!
huh.
And that sounds like a fun afterlife to me.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know what I would want my ghost
Attire.
outfit to be. Um, so hey, we're back
Hey,
now in
we're
your
back,
hotel.
baby!
Neither of us chose hotel, even though we love a hotel. Neither of us chose hotel
It's
as a
true. I
place
do
we'd like
love
to
a
haunt.
hotel, but people do nasty shit. Hotels.
I think
I don't want to watch it
also
all.
like
Some of it.
I wouldn't want other people to profit off of me being there. I think
True.
that's
That
why
wouldn't
I
feel
don't pick
good.
hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you could haunt them.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, no, this hotel's fine. And the hotel keeper's like, it's haunted as hell. Yeah.
Should we, I mean, the other thing, that we haven't talked about, you and I could both haunt an airplane because we love Ghost Plane as
Ghost. We could
one of our
create
very
Ghost
early
Plane.
bits on this podcast. We could, yeah, Ghost Plane, just haunt a Spirit Airlines aircraft or
Realistically,
a Boeing.
I like it. But
I don't think Spirit uses Boeing, but I'm
like,
not positive.
probably not, but they should. Boeing needs that.
They need the business.
Uh, just thinking, and knock on fake wood. Do I have any real wood? That might be wood. Um, I don't
They
want
do not
to
use Boeing. They use all Airbus.
Airbus.
Anyway, sorry,
Um,
continue.
I don't want to die up here, but it could happen. I work up here, a podcast up here. I could have a little heart attack getting so stressed out about things. This would be a creepy little haunting spot. You've been here. So it would,
Mm-hmm.
like, I would just haunt the loft and people could live here. But there would be this upstairs the whole time. And they're like, we don't go up there. There's a bed up there. Guests can sleep up there. We don't go up there.
Yeah. That is, I mean, I do feel like there are stories of like, oh yeah, we can't go in the attic or the basement, but
Yeah.
the rest of the house is fine. Or there's like a ghost that only haunts the kitchen, but like, you still got to use the kitchen.
Gotta do it. They're gonna poltergeist those plates and stuff and spin them around the room. Open
Yeah.
up all those cabinets.
Yeah.
Stack all the chairs.
What, so what happens in this hotel, Evan?
All right. You're ready to get into it? Because you're about
Yes.
to be scared shitless.
Okay.
I'm about to say the scariest thing I've ever said. Boo!
Oh.
Oh. So, like we're saying with the happy older people in the haunted room, like, assuming they didn't know, then it's like, if you aren't aware of it and stay in that room, are you way more likely to experience nothing. And if you are aware of it and you stay in that room, are you way more likely to start thinking you're seeing stuff or hear noises and put a little
Yeah.
haunted spin on that noise? Seems likely. So, we're not in that room, but we're directly across from it. It's not front of mind, but it's right there, mostly just going like, hey, this bed is one of the most uncomfortable beds I've ever experienced. And I think they're using the hauntings as an excuse not to change the beds. We're scared. So I will say, knowing that, I did, like, right when we got in, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye. There was nothing there. So that was just an initial, like, whoop, probably in my head.
Sure.
I'm expecting to see stuff, and I thought I saw something. So this is day one. Yeah, day one. So we check in. We get up there. I think I see something. Probably didn't. It was a super early morning. We had very early morning errands we had to run. So we got up at like 5 a.m. We're tired as hell. But we got there. Check-in was around 3. We got there right around then. And we're like, we're taking a nap. So we do that. So yeah, if we check, it must have been day 2 then. We genuinely probably just slept that whole day. I don't remember. But so the next day, everything was fine the first night. I'm sitting in the bed. This is Saturday. This is the day of the going away party. So Jocelyn's getting ready, and I'm getting ready, quote unquote. I'm sitting on the bed watching Top Chef or looking at my phone or whatever.
That'd be a great place to die.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 p.m.
Boo PM.
Yes. Precisely. 2 p.m. I'm talking about this level. She's talking also about this level. We're having a conversation because it's the middle of the fucking day and you can do that. This whole time there's been nobody in the room next to us. And there is a room directly behind where the bed is. So thin walls,
Sure.
I'm leaning against that wall. I'm talking at a talking level. And in the middle of us talking, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to scare anyone downstairs. Shakes the wall loud as someone could possibly bang on the wall. So now we're in the situation of like asshole, ghost, or asshole ghost.
Yeah. This is a good game show.
It shook the wall to the degree that I'm like, that felt weird. And again, there has not been anyone in this room that we've heard up to this point. So we're kind of a little freaked out, but also just like our regular anxious selves, like, well, we don't want our neighbor to be like upset at us for talking in the middle of the day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's try to get to the bottom of this. Jocelyn's braver than I, and she's like, I'm just gonna go over there and knock on their door. So she goes over there, and I'm like, wow.
Oh my god, this is the internet thing all over again.
She likes people more than I do. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna,
Sorry I had to come over here. My boyfriend's in the bath, but
I'm not gonna let you go confront a ghost by yourself, a ghost or a Karen. So I stick my head out the door. I'm standing in the hallway. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. But I'm also like, I'm pissed off if this is a person. That's fucking insane. Like, it's a hotel. Fuck off. We can talk.
right.
She knocks on the door. Nothing. Absolute silence in the room. She knocks on the door again. Nothing. And I'm thinking, like, if there's a person in there, like, what is happening is like, oh, they did that. Now they're kind of like embarrassed about having done that. They're not wanting to go answer the door.
Yeah.
But you get up and you check the keyhole. I think. I didn't hear that.
I would think so.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a single floorboard creak, and building is loud as hell. So we go back to the room. We just go, okay. And so we're kind of just talking about it, like, what do we do now? And I'm like, I'm going to go to the front desk. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to ask them, A, is there someone in that room?
Sure.
B, let them know that happened and see if they're like, oh, yeah, we can move you to a different room. We can move them, whatever. So I ask, and as soon as I was saying it, presumed like they probably can't legally tell me, and that's what she said. Like, I can't confirm or deny whether there's someone in a room. I'm like, yeah, but I wish you would. Considering the marketing.
That's interesting. I mean, because obviously they couldn't tell you who it is or whatever,
Yes.
but it is interesting that they can't even be like, it's occupied or it's vacant.
Yes.
Like, that is kind of strange.
Exactly. I'm like, given that you're marketing this place as like, there are ghosts, are you just playing it up by making me
maybe
second guess that there might not be anyone in this room? So she was unwilling to share that information, which I didn't like, but
Sure.
basically told us, like, I explained the situation after that. I was like, I'm just asking because, we got a super loud knock on the wall. And, it's hard even in a situation where it's like they market themselves as a haunted hotel. It's hard to go up to the front desk and admit, like,
I maybe saw a ghost.
These aren't ghosts, right? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. So I had asked if it was occupied. She said she couldn't tell us that, and then I told we had the loud bang on the wall, and if it's a person, it's 2:00, and that's ridiculous. And she was like, all right, well, let us know if it happens again. If it happens again, we'll deal with it. I'm like, okay. So Jocelyn saw a person. There's room 301. There was a family staying in 301, and a woman with that family sticking her head in their door. She says she then saw her go into that room.
Okay.
So, all right, we've got a body.
Yeah.
She was surprised to say, like, very normal looking person, like around our age. Like, maybe she thought her family was next to her making the noise and she banged the wall at them. We don't know. All I know is from that point forward, I never heard or saw anyone in that room, and I saw her in the room with the family, and that's it. But she says she saw her go in the door, so we gotta believe that,
Mm-hmm.
from that point on, obviously, we have to go to the going away party. It was super fun. Met a lot of good people. Really kept my socializing up. I was quiet at first, but met a few nice people, and then was like pretty social. Not going out of my way to talk to people, but talking to people. I was proud of
Nice.
myself. That normally kills me, and I kept it going for like a long time.
Nice.
So we get back.
Were you
Um,
possessed, do you think?
could
By a
be.
social ghost?
Yes. Social ghosts. I like that. Casper's pretty social. Maybe it
Yeah.
was him. Um, I forget at what point this was. Either. No, this must have been the next day or that night. I don't remember. Either way, all I know is at a certain point, there was a note that was slid under that door, the room next to us. Assuming, maybe from the manager of the hotel, writing like, "Hey, we got a complaint about this." Like, da, 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 da. 24 hours passed. That note was there the whole time. Never budged. Tempted to read it.
Interesting.
The
Sure.
note never went anywhere. I'm unwilling to just go out on the ledge and be like, yes, ghosts. But in that environment, with that in
Mm-hmm.
my head, and leaning against that wall, when someone slammed their fist, like their entire body weight, on this wall, it felt creepy as fuck. And I
Yeah.
didn't like it. So most likely a Karen.
I
Slight
guess.
possibility a haunting. Now we add that to the question: roaches, ghosts, Karens. Who are you staying with?
Ghosts number one. Karen's number two. Roaches number three. I don't
Okay.
like the
I
roaches.
don't like the roaches either, but the Karens really make you second guess. Like, okay.
It's true. I mean, it is
To what
like,
degree could I live with the roaches?
I mean, my, like where we live now, I haven't seen any yet this year, but in the past, we've definitely had roaches
Yeah.
emerge this time of year out of the
It's
woodwork.
a
And
terrible
it
time of year.
really, like, it's really frustrating.
Not a fan.
Grant, like, I think Karens go above roaches for me because, like, I at least still have, like, in this hotel, like,
Yeah.
the Karen is not in the room with me.
Yeah.
So, like, that still helps. And also, I was perhaps raised by a Karen or a Karen esque type. Not to say that I have patience for it, but
Yeah, familiarity.
I feel more equipped to handle that than I do roaches or even ghosts, really. So
So maybe Karen's number one.
no, I'm still putting ghosts number one.
Because we know Karens and roaches exist.
Exactly.
There's a slight chance you're haunted
All
or
I have to do is
not
show
haunted
up
at all.
into this haunted hotel with like the tightest t-shirt imaginable and a camera, and the ghosts are gonna be like, "Never mind. I've seen this type of
I've
person
seen them.
before, and I'm not gonna bother."
Hey, that'll do it. But that was my experience. Like all ghost stories, really nothing you can glean from this.
I do feel
Just,
like you should have read the note. I know that
I know,
like it's
right?
very stressful to not or to like to read it and then worry like, oh, is this the moment they're gonna come out of the room or somebody in
Yes,
the hallway is gonna be there?
I've I've done
But
it before,
I
and
really would have wanted to read that note.
shouldn't admit it, but having in the past had like a troublesome neighbor and some complaints about them that I didn't share with the landlord. And then you see they've got a note on their door and no one else has a note on their door. I've peaked.
What
and
did
it's
it say?
scary as hell. And it said fucking jack shit. It's just like
It was
your
like,
water is going to be turned off.
yeah.
Boring stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing to this story is that there's a lot of holes in it and mystery, and that persists, keeps the ghosts haunting. But
Speaking of ghosts, and we do have to wrap up here in a
we do.
moment. I did, as we've been talking about ghosts for the last hour or so, I did just get a text from an unknown number, and all it says is, "Hey."
Okay.
Am I being texted by a ghost?
Well, check this out. This was the day after we got back home. I got a text from a stranger. It says, "Hi, Miley. We need to go to the nursing home tomorrow." I don't know. I think someone's trying to commit me.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is and not a scam. But
Evan
anyways.
sounds like Miley. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, you do have Miley Cyrus's old number,
I
so
do.
that
And her
could be
old
part of it as
teeth.
well.
Listen, we got to wrap this up. We got a quiz to take. This is
It's true.
important. You've been haunted by the best today. You've been haunted by Chris and Evan and the podcast How Do We Human. Thank you for allowing us into your crawl spaces. You can listen to more of this, and we hope you will. Pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. And by pretty much, I mean 100%. Anywhere. If you listen to podcasts on YouTube, you can find it there too. But we're also on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're on Amazon, whatever. We're on Podbean and Pocket Casts and Blip Blop Blue. How Do We Human? That's it. Leave us reviews, leave us ratings. We love all these things because we love you and we like to hear from you. Is that so much to ask? If you're not sure where to find all these things, we've got links all over our social media, and you can talk to us there. We post things sometimes. You can follow us. We're on Instagram at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
We're on Facebook also at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
We've got full video episodes now on YouTube, and that is at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
Here we go. You can leave us a message, a voicemail. That number is 323-657-9896.
We got that number. So call us maybe.
You can also leave us an email, ask us questions, give us episode ideas, whatever you want. And that is howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that it's an email.
Shooby doop. Yeah.
And now, of course, it's time to continue our trivia battle. For anybody who doesn't remember, the score as it stands, as we play to 100 points.
Yes.
Chris with 60 points. Evan with 52 points.
Yeah.
And Dustin with 4 points. And
Killing
now we are going to continue with another 5 questions. Let's see how we do. I'm still truly upset about last week's Pearl Harbor question.
And could you answer it now?
Yes, I could.
1941?
Could you? Yes.
Okay. Let's just have a weekly check-in on the podcast where we discuss when Pearl Harbor happened.
I like it. Really, it does bother me more than any other question that we had on this trivia battle. It really bothers me that we got that wrong.
Yeah, we got that wrong.
I wasn't. This is a promise I need to make to myself for this round of trivia. Is like I gotta just go with my brain and not with or I guess with my gut and not try and outsmart the quiz.
Totally.
Just gotta go with what we know.
Yeah.
Question number 1. People with hypertrichosis have lots of what? Dandruff,
Hmm.
oils, hair, or sweat? Already, I find myself trying to outsmart the quiz.
Great. I've got two answers. I think I'm landing somewhere though. I think I'm gonna go with sweat.
Okay, I'm between sweat and dandruff.
Those were the two I was also
Oh,
between.
interesting. I'm gonna go with
So it's
dandruff.
probably oils.
Yeah, it's oils or hair, obviously. But I'm gonna go with dandruff. Evan's going with sweat. It was hair.
Hair. That was easily the last one I would have guessed.
Yes, me as well.
Oh. What is the handicap of a scratch golfer? -1, -5, 0, or 3? Now, I golf occasionally, but I have no idea what this means. I've never heard this term. I've got a guess.
I I have heard this term,
Oh,
but I don't know what it means. I'm just to be clear, I have heard it before.
okay.
I'm between two.
2 is not one of the
Um
answers.
and I'm between 0 and I'm between 1 under par.
That is 100% what I'm between also.
It
We
feels
are
to
on
me
the same page today.
I'm going to go with 1 under par.